Hi, welcome back to the Decision Sandbox. This is Matt Franklin, and today I've got something really cool I found. I was not quite satisfied with the simple model I had put together to test the tornado, and today I was doing a little bit of searching and found a really cool commercial lemonade stand where they shared a bit of the information. Where they didn't share, we made some pretty good guesses, and of course we can test uncertainty and see how much those guesses matter. So let me just show you a quick snippet of the video that inspired me.
Morning. We got 15 minutes until the market opens. We're here at Detroit Lemonade Co. We're going to try to sell 800 lemonades in a single day. We had a video with Matt go viral.
Sell 450 32-ounce lemonades out of that at $5 a pop.
And people didn't believe that he could sell 450 lemonades in a day. So we decided that we were going to almost double that.
So yeah, 450 lemonades a day. Can you make $4,000 a day? Can you sell 800 a day? What's your price? And what can you do with that? So they provided a lot of great information in this example. So I'm not going to hit every single point here, but the sales price, he talked about it could be $5. I tested it and to see what $4 would do. He said sometimes he goes up to $8. How many lemons? It looked like one of his workers was sharing that it uses 1.5 lemons per glass. Sales volume, he actually wound up that day selling rather than 800 glasses, he sold 683, which is pretty respectable still. Let's see what else. How many employees did he have? What did he pay them? He shared how much he paid. So he starts them at 20, moves them up to 25, and then for some events he pays 30 bucks an hour. So it's for this kind of labor, it's a pretty good deal. We did add some benefit overhead in there. To bump it up by that and see how sensitive it was to that. How many pounds per lemon? We went to Amazon to look at the price of sugar and the price of lemons and to see how much that mattered. And so overall, when he sold what he sold and paid what he paid for labor and some pretty good estimates on what his transportation costs might be to get to the facility and so on, it looks like his revenue, and I'm using the strict definition of sales price times volume, so we're not talking any cost yet. Sales price, he made $3,400 in revenue, and then when you subtract labor costs, material costs, and so on, you wind up with a little bit over $2,000 per day, which is pretty respectable. So yeah, really a fun project to work on. I'm going to load this into the shared folder so you guys can find that again and play with it yourself. But let's take a run and see what variables matter and see what we might be able to determine from the tornado. So let me just quick check and so value measure, set value measure, and we've already got that live. I've already run this model once, so the data array. We can just, here's what it is, but I can reselect it just to show you that. Enter, include array, and it can be, I can just click and drag with a mouse, drag down, and I can either hit OK or press enter. Either way, label array. And this time, I think last time we used the kind of the nerdy variable names for precision. And let's say we're going to present this to maybe the business owner and say, what we learned and what might help him. And it looks like actually he's already running things really well. Of course, the low range is here, P10. P50 is here. That's the mid-range of these variables we had. And then the high range, that's the P90. Okay. And then I'm just going to create the tornado. And what it tells us is sales price. Let me just, this is, an independently disconnected Excel chart, so we can change the axes and so on. So so it's most sensitive to sales price, $4. His most popular price, I think, was selling it for around $5. He said some events he did sell it for up to $8. And these are just the midpoint, either prices or variables or uncertainties and so on. Sales volume, it could be 300. The midpoint was 683 because that's what he told us. That's what he sold that day. Could go as high as 800 maybe on a really good day. And we included also facility fee. We had no idea what that might cost, but we just I put some reasonable numbers in. It seems like that is not as dominant as sales price, sales volumes. Interestingly, I don't know anything about the lemonade business or labor or what you need. It looked like he had about 5 employees. I couldn't tell for sure, so I made that an uncertainty. And it kind of doesn't matter. So, and even when he's paying a fairly generous $25 an hour to his workers, it's not as sensitive to this variable as it is to other things. So if you get good workers, keep them, and if they can help you sell more, wonderful. Length of the day, I put that in as a variable. He said he takes about 6 hours, but we could look to see if spending more hours may help with that. Yeah. And let's see what else. Benefits. A lot of the stuff gets into the noise and things you might think are important, like maybe what the price of lemons per unit lemon cost. It turns out that's not a big variable. So if someone is looking to do some cost cutting and they say, let's get away with less lemons, let's put some fake stuff in, whatever, it doesn't really help you that much. And those things, when the customer feels fooled, might not allow you to charge as much for your price, or they might affect the volume a lot. So yeah, just a fun overview. And now we can sort of test these things. So maybe some different scenarios here, if we can help him. Like, what if you changed the work day to longer? Again, just looking at our tornado, seeing what we can do. Let's put the work day longer to sell more. So let's go to the model, and the work day is hours per shift. What if we, again, of course, the costs are going to go up if the work day increases, but and then we're going to kind of assume that maybe. So what if we had go from 6 to 7 hours, one more hour, and that sells us more. And oops, sorry, I went the wrong direction. I didn't want to go fewer glasses sold per day. I want to go for more. So 2,700 versus a little over 2,000. So yeah, that might be a thing. Consider adding an hour. Although again, the guy, he seems to know how to run his business. He's very familiar with that market, and he may know that at the end of the day, if he opens an hour earlier or closes an hour later, it may be just tapering off at that time of day. So we can take this back to the midpoint. And what else can we test? What else can we look at? See. So what if we lower the prices to sell more? So let's again, it was the most sensitive to price. So let's think about maybe instead of $5, maybe only $4. And what if that's what it takes to bump you up to 800? And it's lower, so it's about 1,800. So you lose a couple of $100 a day by doing that. Again, that's just with our estimates here. So what else can we try? What if we want to raise the price? Hey, that's because it's sensitive to price, so let's just try that. So let's raise the price up to $8. So let's go 8. But then let's say, well, maybe not as many people are going to buy it at that price. So yeah, 1,100. That's it's very sensitive to numbers sold. It's very sensitive to sales price. So that might, and it may well be that he's got the right sweet spot. What else? One thing I'm going to leave to you guys on your own, because he's got 2 stations. If you watch the video, he's got 2 stations. What if you had a value station where you stick with the $5, but a premium station with a short line, or maybe you'd put a little extra vitamin C or a electrolyte, sort of a mineral booster, into the premium product. And what if you did that so you could modify the model and change that? I won't do that myself, but that's definitely something that you guys could do. But yeah, I was really super excited about this. And yeah, so if you got a lemonade stand or something similar, this will help you do your analysis. Okay, thanks for watching.